Hit record. And where is it showing up that we're recording?
I don't know.
There it is. There's the record. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, we are on record now and we're ready to go. Okay, last week was an informational session in which we talked about how we were going to proceed. We talked about what you all wanted. We set Mondays at 10:30 as our regular scheduled class each week. So today is actually the first class. You remember, if you recall at the end of last week's session, Carol presented a hand that she and John Markey played. Carol was on lead. Carol managed to make a lead that gave us a 3% on the hand. And we went over the hand and we went over what my hand looked like. I was on opening lead and I talked about how I came upon the decision to make my lead. I based it upon the bidding. And unfortunately, the lead I made was a 3%er. And that just thrilled my partner. Actually, he said he didn't say a word. You all know John would never say a word about anything. He might be cringing on the other side of the screen, but he'd never say anything. So I know that I have a problem on making opening leads, as well as I think most of us do. I think even the great professional players, they have a problem in making opening leads, also trying to decide what to make. You're hoping to make the best lead to get your side off to a good start, or at least not to give the declarer an extra trick. I think my lead last week gave him an extra trick, is what resulted in our getting a very low score on the board. So today we want to start looking at opening leads. We're going to be doing a series of opening leads for the next 2 or 3 lessons. You cannot, if you're actually in the room and the game's been played in the room, you can kind of look at your partner and maybe he'll give you a signal as to what you ought to lead. Of course, that's illegal. And we all know on these virtual games that there are people on their phones that can say, lead a heart, partner, lead a heart, I got a void. But none of us would be doing that. So pretty much we're on our own deciding on the opening lead. We find ourselves on opening lead. And 4 or 5 hands during a game, you're going to probably be making the opening lead. What is the one thing that'll help you? It will be the bidding of the hand, what the opponents bid, what they didn't bid, did your partner bid, did your partner double for a lead? All of these things you should refresh in your memory before you make your opening lead. I think the tendency on making the opening lead is you just plop a card down. A lot of people give no thought at all, particularly beginners, give no thought at all. We're certainly not beginners. We're trying to get up to the big leagues. So we should be giving thought. Maybe you're concerned if I spend too much time, you get the nasty little chats down there that say, lead, please lead, please lead. You should have the time you need to think through what you're going to lead. Now, you don't want to go for an entire minute because then that gives the declarer some kind of indication that you have a problem making your lead. But you certainly go through the bidding. Very importantly, you try to figure out how many points the declarer has, how many points his partner has. You know how many points you have. Add all of that up, subtract from 40, and you can figure out if your partner's got 0, maybe he's got 8, maybe he's got 10, some kind of range for your partner to have. And then you decide upon your opening lead. So what we're going to begin today is a discussion of the basic types of leads that you can make and look at some examples of when you would apply those. So and I'm hoping you're going to see the document on the screen. Let's see, Nisha, I'll just go here now and
all right,
come down. Okay. Where is it going to be? Okay. That's at the end, isn't it? Okay.
No.
All right, so what do I do? Go up here.
There we go. Keep going up.
Keep going up. Okay. I want to get to the beginning of the lesson.
There you go.
Okay.
Bring it down just a little bit.
Bring it down just a little bit. All right. What are you all seeing?
Half of a page.
Half of a page. How am I?
It says opening leads 1. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Coming on up.
So there are 3 basic categories of leads. The first one is the forcing lead. Forcing is exactly what it means. You're wanting to force the declarer. A forcing lead comes into play when you either you or your partner you suspect has length in the trump suit. And you will know that from the bidding. If you look at your hand and you've got 4 or 5 trumps, then you know that your partner has none. You want to make a forcing lead. What you're trying to do here is to force, therein work the forcing lead, force the declarer to use up his trumps so that maybe by the middle or near the end of the hand, you will have more trumps than he has. And then whoever has trumps at the end is controlling the final part of the hand and will ultimately prevail. And you all have been in a situation where they'll lead a suit, you got a trump. You start out with 5 trumps, you got to go making a trump. And then they get in with something and they lead that same damn suit. Oops, and we're on record. Pardon me, erase that. They lead that club again or whatever they're forcing you with. And here you've got to use a second trump. Now you're down to 3 trumps. And this is what you as the opener and leader is hoping is happening, because now you've got more trumps than he has. And so by the last few cards that are played, you will have more trumps than he does. You'll be able to trump his last card, and then you can cash out your little 2s and 7s and 3s of all those little cards you got, and you're going to set the hand. So the forcing lead is made when you have excess trumps, or from the bidding and looking at your hand, maybe you have no trumps or maybe 1, you suspect that your partner has 4 or 5 trumps. You want to make a forcing lead. A forcing lead, you pick the longest suit in your hand and you start leading it at the get-go. So let's come down and look at the hand. All right, for each of the examples, you are going to be West and you see your hand. And I'm going to give you the bidding. And we're going to go through how you decide. Now, these are simplistic and I'm sure, but it's not going to hurt for me to go through each of this with you. When North opens 1 diamond, you're looking at your hand. North opens 1 diamond. You should immediately think, okay, what's the minimum he could have? Well, he ought to have at least 3 diamonds, probably 4. And he's got at least 12 points. That's all you know. Your partner passes, South bids a spade. Now what do you know? You know that South has at least 4 spades and has at least 6 points to have made that bid. You pass. Don't come in there bidding 2 clubs with that. You need at least an opening hand to bid to overcall to 2 levels. So you're going to pass, albeit you've got a pretty nice club suit there. So you pass. We come back to North. North rebids 1 no trump. In your mind, you're going to be the opening leader. In your mind, you should immediately be thinking 12 to 14. He has limited his hand. He has 12 to 14 points. He might have 15, but more or less he's got 12 to 14. What does he not have? He does not have 4 spades. If he had had 4 spades, instead of bidding 1 no trump, he's going to rebid 2 spades. That limits his hand too. But you know 2 things. You know the range of the North hand. You also know he does not have 4 spades. Okay, so your partner passes, East passes. South now bops in there with a 2 heart bid. Now what do you know? First of all, you know you're going to be the opening leader. So you need to really be paying attention now. When South rebids 2 hearts, you know for certain that he has 5 spades, possibly more, and you know he has at least 4 hearts. If he were 4-4, he would have bid the heart first and then the spade. So you know he has at least 5 spades, and you know he has at least 4 hearts. Now remember, anytime your partner, who is an unpassed hand, bids a new suit, you cannot pass. If you're the opening leader, your partner bids a new suit. If he bids and rebids his suit, then you can pass. But if he bids a new suit, you absolutely 100% have to find some kind of bid. You may want to just go hide and be sick, but you've got to make a bid. So he rebids 2 hearts, the South hand. You are West, and you're now looking at your hand, and you're saying, oh, okay, I got that King of Spades, and in South's first bid, he bid a spade, so maybe I'm going to get my King of Spades. Now look at those wonderful hearts you got. You've got 4 of them. And you know he's got 4 of them. He may have 5, you don't know. But for now, all you know, he's got 5 spades and 4 hearts. And he's forcing this thing up to another level. Okay, so we come back around to the north hand. North has already limited his hand by saying he had 12 to 14. He did not have 4 spades. He now pops in there and he says 3 hearts. So what he's telling you is, I still have the 12 to 14 point hand, but partner, I do have 4 hearts with you. So this is something you're processing. You're listening and watching the bidding all the way through this. And then South has game going values and he goes to 4 hearts. Now you are the opening leader. What you want to be thinking is, what does my partner have? You know that the north hand has anywhere from 12 to 14 points. You know how many points you have. You have 9 points. You know that, by the way, South is bidding that he's probably got 13 or 4. Even if his partner had only 12, he has pushed it to game. He has put it in 4 spades. So he certainly doesn't have 10 or 11 points. He may have just only 12 and have distribution, but more than likely he's got 13 or 14 points. So you count up, say 13 or 14 points for the South hand, at least 12 with the north hand, and you're 9, and you add that up and you subtract from 40, and you should know that your partner's got somewhere between 6, 7 points. So you should do that on every single hand, and I don't think you do that. But try to figure out, does my partner have any points? About within 1 or 2 points, how many points does my partner have? You do that based on the information from the bidding. Okay, so you look at your hand. You know that South has 5 spades. You know that the north hand probably has only 2 or 3. He does not have 4 because he didn't raise them. You know that the South hand has 4 hearts. You have 4 hearts. You know also that the north hand has 4 hearts. So your partner probably has a singleton or none. I would say it's 4, 4, 4, 1 with your partner having a singleton heart. This is the classic example of when you want to make a forcing lead. You want to try to declare rough so that you will eventually have the same or more trumps than he has. How do you do that? By leading your longest suit. The force comes when you lead a long suit. You're trying to make him have to use his trumps. The only long suit you've got is the club suit. Now you look at that and you say, well, you don't want to be leading away from the ace jack 10. Yes, you do. In this particular case, you do. You start out by leading your ace of clubs. And let me just see if I can move it down a little bit now. So here you have length in the trump suit. Your objective is to force the declarer to use his trumps, trumping the club losers. So you lead the ace of clubs, and each time you or your partner gets in, you need to keep pounding in there with the club. And pretty soon after the declarer's had to rough twice, you've got more trumps than he does. And as I say, near the end of the hand, the declarer has this sinking feeling. He has lost total control of the hand. Doug, you talked about this in one of your lessons in Roanoke. When you have trump length, you want to try to make that declarer use his trumping some long suit that you have, so that you will gain control. Whoever's got that length in the trump suit near the end of the hand is going to prevail and win the hand. So that's when you make a forcing lead. Now, I've asked you a question there. Why would you not want to lead the 7 of diamonds? You have a singleton diamond. You're not interested in trumping. You understand that? What your objective is to make the declarer trump. You don't want to be, you could lead your singleton diamond and perhaps get one of your hearts, but you're taking away your natural, we'll talk about this natural trump. Next week, we're going to talk about trump leads. You don't want to be trumping. Your objective is to make the declarer use up his trumps by trumping clubs. So you wouldn't want to lead the 7 of diamonds or singleton. Okay, the second type of lead is called the attacking lead, and I'm not going right. Okay, the attacking lead, second major category. 2 situations, attacking lead in a suit contract and a attacking lead in a no trump contract. In the suit contract, you normally make an attacking lead if you suspect that the dummy's got a long side suit on which the declarer will be dumping losers. So your attacking lead, what does it mean? It means if you have any aces and kings, you need to cash them out right at the get-go. So as badly as you normally don't lead an ace or you don't try to cash your big cards, in the event that you think that dummy is going to come down with 6 diamonds to the king, queen, jack, 6, and that as soon as the declarer pulls trumps, he's going to be dumping all of his losers in hearts or wherever your big cards are. The point is the attacking lead. Try to cash yours, get your winners in before he has a chance, before they disappear on that long side suit. Another type of attacking lead is in the no trump contract. I think the majority of attacking leads are made in the no trump. It's always a race between you and the declarer on who's going to get his suit set up first. So normally you are leading your 4th best from your longest, so trying to give your side a leg up on getting your long suit established before declarer and ready to cash before declarer can get his 9 tricks. So I think no trump contracts, you're always making an attacking lead because you're trying, predominantly you're making an attacking lead because you're trying to get your side a head start on getting your long side suit set up. So the attacking lead suit contract, if you suspicion there is a long side suit in which your big cards are going to be lost, you want to go ahead and try to cash those out. No trump, you're always making an attacking lead trying to get your suit set up. So let's scroll down and look at the example. All right, I don't want to give you the answer. What did I do, Misha? Did I get out of that?
No.
How do I get out of this? How do
Just click on the doc. Don't click on that.
hit this? Okay, I accidentally hit something. All right, let's look at the bidding. And look at your hand. You have 8 points. Okay, obviously I don't think you're going to be making any bidding. You are west. South opens 1 no trump, and in the screen, if nothing appears, you assume it's 15 to 17 no trump. You pass. Now I know a lot of us play 2 no trump, it's meaning something different, but for here in this particular example, the 2 no trump means he has 8 or 9 points, and he is inviting his partner if he's at the top of his no trump bid, presumably 16 with 5 card suit or 17, certainly he would bid 3 no trump. In other words, he's making an invitational bid by his 2 no trump bid. South accepts. He's saying he's either got 17 or he's got 16 with a 5 card suit. But anyway, he has accepted. So they are in a 3 no trump contract. You know several things. First of all, you know that the no trump guy is pretty much at the top of his range. You know that North has anywhere from 8 to 9 points. If he had 10 points, he's bidding 3 no trump directly, isn't he? He's not fooling around on an invitation. He's got 8 or 9 points. He's inviting his partner. You have 8 points. So you could add up your 8 points, 17 for South and 8 or 9 for the North hand, subtract from 40, and you will figure out that your partner has maybe 5 or 6 points. You won't get it exactly, but you will find out, you will know he has a few points. You also know more than you think you do. The North hand did not bid Stayman. He did not bid 2 clubs. He does not have a 4 card major. That's very key. He also did not have a 5 card major. He did not transfer him by bidding 2 diamonds or bidding 2 hearts. He did not, if they were playing the 2 spades and the 2 no trump as the 4-way transfers, he did not make any of those bids. So you know several things before you make your opening lead. You can figure out that your partner's got 6 or 7 points. You can figure out that there's no 4 card major coming down in the dummy. That does not mean that the South hand does not have a 4 card major. You also know that the North hand does not have 5 hearts or 5 spades or on maybe 6 clubs or 6 diamonds or whatever if they did the four-way transfer. So you know all that before you make your opening lead. And let's look at your hand now. You really don't want to lead away from your king of spades. You know that the dummy is not going to have 4 spades, but you don't know for certain what this declarer over here's got. So you may be leading right into the ace queen of spades, which would not make your partner a happy camper. The hearts, you have 5 of them. They're pretty pitiful, but you've got 5 of them. We'll come back to that in a minute. You do have sort of a sequence there, Jack 10, 9. That would be sort of a safe lead to make. You certainly don't want to lead away from the ace of clubs. So I look at my hand and I say, I've got 2 potential entries there, the king of spades and the ace of clubs. I have 5 hearts. Your attacking lead is to lead that heart suit, as bad as it is, because we'll see why in a minute. Now, some people lead the 4th best, so they would lead the 3 of hearts. A lot of people are now leading, if you have 5 little ones, they're leading the 2nd from the top, which case you would lead the 6th. Now, that's another point I want to make. Before you play each game, if you're, I know during the week you're playing with each other in different ones, it always behooves you to look at the back of your convention card, look at the leads that you and your partner for that day, for that game play, because there's nothing more embarrassing to get confused, well, I lead this with Kurt. Oh, but I'm playing with Lou today. You see what I'm saying? Before you play in a game, just take a look at the back of your convention card, or if you're on the virtual game, you can pull up your convention card and look at what your leads are. So with Doug and with John, I would lead the 6. With Connie, I would lead the 3. So it's very, very, very important for you to know with whichever partner, whomever you're playing with, that you are leading the correct card. So anyway, whichever card you lead a heart. Your partner's got 6 or 7 points. If your partner can come down with 1 or 2 big cards, pretty soon, within about 2 times, you are going to have that heart suit set up ready to cash. Now it looks kind of not maybe possible, but you lead that heart, partner plays the king, forces the ace, declarer lets you in with the king of spades, you lead another heart. He takes it. Then maybe he has to let you in with the ace of clubs. Maybe now your hearts are ready to cash and you're going to set this hand. So you see your best lead there is an attacking lead. And as bad as the heart suit is, it's your best chance to have a chance to prevail and maybe set this contract one trick. So the main point I'm trying to make here is take the bidding, take what you have, try to figure out what your partner's got, and then make the best decision you can on the lead you should make. And when you start getting in this mindset, I think your opening leads are going to improve significantly. And even though you know all this stuff, you can still make the lead that gives you the 3%, as I did, as the example I showed you last week. Okay, let's look at the 3rd basic type. It is called the passive lead. And the passive lead is one in which you want to make a safe lead. You're not trying to get a leg up. You're not trying to get something set up in your partner's hand. You are trying to make a lead that will not give the declarer a trick that he was not going to get. A safe lead is you give him a trick, he leads something, gives him a trick, he was going to get that trick anyway. You've not given him an extra trick. Sometimes that extra, and that's what happened to me last week, was I should have made a safe lead and I didn't do it. Okay, so let's look at the bidding again. Let me pull this up. I keep wanting to go, Nisha, tell me to come down rather than up. Okay, so the bidding is essentially the same. And we'll look at your hand. You have 10 points this time. South bids a no trump, so you know immediately 15 to 17. And you've got 10 points. Now that's key. We come over to the north hand and he makes that 2 no trump game invitational. You know he's got 8 or 9 points. If he had 10 points in the same hand, he's going to go directly to 3 no trump, but he didn't. And now, of course, your partner's passing. South accepts the invitation and goes to 3 no trump. So basically, you know South has 17 points. You know you have 10. You know North has 8 or 9. And you subtract all that, and your partner ain't got much, has he? He's got maybe 3, 4, 5 points. But still, it's important for you to go through this procedure each time. His hand is really not going to matter. You are the important person because you have everything in the deck, pretty much. Your partner may have a little something, maybe a queen, or you don't know. You have all the points. You don't want to give a clue. The declarer is not going to know that you have all the points. So you're wanting to make a safe lead. If you look at the hearts, the diamonds, and the clubs, all of those are what we call broken suits. A broken suit is where you have a high card, and then you have ones, you have a gap. You do not have a sequence. You don't have like the Queen, Jack 10. Queen, Jack 10, if you had the Queen, Jack 10 of hearts, it would be a perfect lead. But you see the gap you have there. So these are known as broken suits. You don't really want to be leading away from diamonds, clubs, or the heart suit. That leaves you with the 10 of spades. That would be what I would call a passive, a safe lead. Make the declarer guess, make him have to take the finesses. And he maybe make the wrong finesse on every one of them. He may be playing for the points to be split. And if he is, he may lose every one of those finesses and you may set the hand. So does everybody see that your best lead in this one is to make a safe lead? Go ahead and lead the 10 of spades. It's probably not going to leave anything. Your partner doesn't have anything anyway. But if you lead one of those other suits, you are helping out the declarer, locating some of the high cards and maybe giving him that extra trick. So that's what a safe lead a lot of times comes in. Most of the time, I think it does come in with the no trump contracts, particularly the 6 no trump contracts. And we're going to look at one of the practice exercises that illustrates how important it is to make a safe lead sometimes on those 6 no trump, those slam contracts. Okay, so basically we have 3 types of leads. We have the forcing lead, in which you have lengthened the trump suit or you suspect that your partner does. And you know that from the bidding. You try to lead your longest suit, hoping to make the declarer you want to make him use his trumps so that you or your partner will get control of the trump suit. Whoever has control of the trump suit is going to win this hand and it's going to set the declarer and you're going to get probably a very good board. The second type of lead would be your attacking lead. Attacking lead for the suit contract would be try to cash any winners you got because you're suspecting a long side suit in the dummy. No trump, you're trying to give your side a leg up on getting ahead of the race and get your setting tricks before the declarer can make his 9. And in the passive lead, it's exactly what it says it is. You're trying to make the safest lead you can, one that the declarer was going to get that trick anyway. You haven't given him anything. Okay, I want to stop here and say again, before you start playing this afternoon, if you're playing today, just take a couple of minutes to look over your card. It'll either be online for you to see or you actually have your paper copy that you can look at. Just to refresh your memory, because I know you guys are splitting, playing with each other. Maybe you all play the same leads, I don't know. But I'm playing with about 5 different people. Margaret Grayson, Doug Sum, John, Connie, Carol Roby. So I have to go look at those leads every time I'm playing with somebody. You all know Carol wants you leading. Got 3 small ones. She wants you leading that small one, which just about, I just can't, I blow it. Just about every game I blow it. So don't tell her I said that. And that's hard for me to do. But the important thing is, and I can't say this enough, is that you know what you and your partner are leading. And that will help you so much. And then after the bidding, you find yourself on lead, take a moment or two. Don't just plop a card out there. Take a moment or two. And as the bidding's progressing, you can already be trying to figure out what your partner's got. Try to think, how many points does my partner have? Does my partner have the length in the trump suit? And you get this only from the bidding. And then you try to make the best decision. You don't need to feel rushed, even if they put those smarty remarks down there, lead, would you please lead? You still, they can't do anything till you lead. And then once you lead, and this is something I'm going to be weaving into all of our subsequent lessons. Once you lead and that dummy hits the table, I don't know if you're going to be surprised at what you thought dummy's hand looked like, but I bet you're going to be very close to what you thought he had. Once the dummy hits the table, now you look back at your hand, you look once in the dummy, you know you pretty much know the range of the declarer, and then you can begin to close in on how many points your partner's got. And then another very important thing is, as each card is played, try to be getting a count on the declarer's hand. You can see the dummy's hand, you can see your hand. The declarer is the important one. He's the one you're trying to beat. So if you have to, in these virtual games, just have a piece of paper there. If he's in a no trump contract and he takes that first trick with the ace of hearts, that's 4 of his 17 points. Maybe he takes a subsequent trick with the king of clubs. That's 7. Maybe he takes his next trick, he takes it with the ace of diamonds. That's 11 of his 17 points. Be aware of that. He's got at most 5 or 6 points left in his hand. Where are they? I don't think you do that. And this is hard to do. This is tedious, it's hard. But as each card is played, try to keep account of how many cards that person, the declarer, had in his suit. Your partner's going to be giving you signals. He's going to hopefully be giving you count, be giving you signals. So you kind of know what your partner's got. It's the declarer's hand that you're worried about. And I don't think that all of us, maybe Doug, but I know Carol's not. Carol's working on it. Trying to count the declarer's, how many cards has he got in each suit. Now you pretty much know from that first hand that that there was 5, that it would be 5 spades and 4 hearts. You didn't know exactly how many clubs or how many diamonds he had. But once the dummy's put down and you lead that first card, at each play of each card that the declarer plays, try to make a count of it. You might just have with the virtual games, you might just have your little piece of paper there and put down 4 points gone, 7 points gone as he plays his high cards, if it's a no trump contract. If it's a suit contract, okay, he's played 2 clubs, he's played 3 hearts, he's played, you see what I'm trying to say to you? You're trying to count the declarer's hand. Now, the point of this lesson today and of these leads is not for you to do that. But I see one of my objectives is to get you to start counting the declarer's hand. Because once you start doing that, your game is going to vastly improve. Vastly improve. At first, it may drop because you're thinking and concentrating so hard, but eventually it's going to start to improve. And let me tell you this, it's hard work. It is not easy. Doug will tell you this. It is not easy to count a declarer's hand. And it seems to be moving so fast, but you can do it. You just have to mentally, and I say, have your piece of paper there this afternoon if you're going to play, and just mark 1 club, 2 clubs, 3 clubs, and make your stick a mark saying, okay, this is how many clubs he's played. And that will get you started. Now, in the real game, if we were in the actual room, you couldn't be doing that, but you can do it here. And we have this whole 4 or 5 months here where you can practice doing this, and you're going to get so much better at it once you start. Lazy people are never going to do this. They're never going to put themselves through that exercise. But I see all of you who are here this morning interested in moving up to the next level. The way you're going to move up to the next level is to start mentally making yourself do the 2 things I've said this morning. Listening to that bidding, watching the dummy when it comes down, trying to figure out how many points your partner has. And then as each card is played, try to be getting a count on the declarer's hand. Okay, I want to move down and see if you all listened to me this morning, and we will have some practice exercises. Oh, I don't want to give you the answer, so don't look at the answer. I have trigger finger here this morning. Okay, you're going to be west in all of these hands. You're going to be west. You see your hand, and you're already, as soon as you pick it up, before any biddings happens, you look at your hand and you have 9 points. So you're certainly not, if you were on lead, on the opening leader, you are not going to be opening the hand. North is the opener, opens 1 club. So what do you know? Preston, what do you know? You're west and north has been one club. So I don't mean to embarrass anybody. So what's the minimum you know about North's hand right now?
He's got owning points and right now, no 5-card major.
Correct. And if he plays a short club, there would be a little message up there saying could be short as 2, could be short club. And you don't see that. So you're assuming either 3 or 4 clubs, aren't you?
Right,
An opening hand.
opening hand.
Okay, now this partner of yours that's been asleep all morning pipes in there with 1 heart. And you're looking, oh, cool, he would have to be a heart. Look there, you got a single and heart. What do you think your partner's got? Preston, let's go on and let you handle this hand. So what are you thinking he's got?
I think your partner has got 5 hearts and 8 to 10 points, maybe 7, depending on the partner. He's
So
got
you-
enough.
On your
he's got enough
convention
to
card,
overcall,
on
and he's got
on your convention card, you've got overcall 7 to 17 or 6 to 16, or you've got
Right.
some range.
there's some people I play with that could have 4 hearts, but most likely it's going to be 5.
It should be 5. And I agree. And if you're vulnerable, it should be one in which you want them to lead.
Right.
You don't want to have 5 hearts to the 9 spot, perhaps, unless you got a lot of outside strength or something. Okay, so your partner's overcalled a heart. This does not deter South. South comes in with a 1 spade bid. So what do you think? What are you thinking about now, Preston?
Okay, South has 5 spades to overcall the heart, regardless of how many hearts your partner's got. South's got
Correct.
5 spades. He's got
5 or 6 points. He's got 6 points. You'd like for him to
he's
have
got
6.
at least 6 points, but it may be a little stronger than that.
And it could be, but we're just talking minimum of what you know at this point.
Right.
He may only have 5 points, but he might be with Singleton Club and want to get that spade bid in. You want to get your spade bid in, but pretty much we're just based upon what we are thinking. So you pass, you don't have a bid. You're certainly not raising your partner's heart suit at this point or ever. North
And-
now rebids 2 spades. He has
Okay.
raised, okay,
So now he's got 4 spades.
does he have to have 4?
He could have, I would say he has to have 4. Oh, wait, I take that back. He overcalled, so he could support with 3.
Okay, his partner has, by overcalling 1 spade, you said he's got 5 spades.
Right. So
Normally, rarely would he have 4. He's got 5. So you've got, when North raises him to 2 spades, he's saying he has 3 spades. He could have 4, but he's saying he's raising. But what range now do you think North has?
I think with the
5.
2 spade response that North has got pretty much a minimum hand.
He's got a minimum hand.
And that would jive with the point count. You've got 10, you figured your partner for 8 to 10 and the opponents for about 19. So that's pretty much puts him with a minimum hand.
He's got the 12 to 14 point hand. If he were to have bid 3 spades, he's probably got 16, 17, 18. If he goes all
Right.
the way to 4 spades, he's got the 18 or 19 point hand. So I
Right.
would say, I agree with you that 2 spades, he's 12 to 14, but he's got 3 spades. East now doesn't bid again. South goes all the way to 4 spades. So South doesn't care if you've got 12 points, if that his partner's got 12 points and 3 spades. Looking at his hand, he knows he wants to be in game, so he puts it in game. And now look at that double there. You double. Why in the world would you double? You're West, Dad. This is your hand. Preston, would you have doubled after that bidding? Or would you be like me and be scared and be chicken to double? Doug would double, wouldn't you, Doug? No, Doug would double. Okay. Doug would double. Carol should double. Whether she's got the guts to do it or not, I don't know. All right, look at your hand, Preston. Everybody look at, you are West. All of you are now West. You have a singleton in your partner's suit. You have 4 huge, wonderful spades there. You know your partner is short in the spade suit. Partner has no spades at all because you're taking south for 5, you have 4, and the other guy's got 3. You're looking at the long club suit, a perfect sequence, and you're looking at nothing in the club suit. So you're thinking, partner bit a heart. Now a lot of people are going to plop down and leave that singleton heart. No, you don't want to leave the singleton heart. This is the forcing bid, forcing lead. You have such strong spades. You want to force the declarer to trump every time you get a chance. So what do? This time you do have a lovely lead in the perfect sequence, the king of spades, the king of diamonds. So you come off leading the king of diamonds. Each time you get in, you lead a diamond, and he is pretty soon going to lose control of that hand. You say, well, why not lead the heart? You don't want to be trumping. Your objective is not to be using your trumps. Your partner's going to get his or her heart tricks. They're going to get their tricks. You don't want to be shortening your trump suit at all. Your objective is to make that declarer use his trumps. And then he's probably going to go down 3 or 4 in this contract. And you have doubled him, and you're probably going to get about 800 or 1100 on his hands. And you're still going to get a good board if you don't double, but you're going to get a top board. I can almost guarantee you're going to get a top board if you double the contract. So I basically just said, what is it? All right, let's go to the second example. Again, you're going to be west, and you see your hand. Your 7 points. Doesn't look as if you're going to be getting in the bidding anytime this century. Okay, let's look at the bidding. Who would like to take the lead on this one? Kurt or Lou? Kurt, would you like to take the lead on this one?
Sure.
All right, South opens a spade. What do you think he's got?
12 points and 5 spades.
Absolutely. And you certainly are passing. All right, we come over and partner, the North guy bids 2 clubs, and he's playing 2 over 1. So what do you know?
He's got 4 clubs and enough points. He's got an opening hand.
He's got an opening hand.
And he does not.
If
yeah.
he's short in clubs, he will have to make an alert and say could be short as 2. But let's say he bids 2 clubs. He only have 4 or 5 clubs.
But we also know that he does not have 4 spades.
Well, we don't know that at this point, we do not know that because he's wanting to say we're going to game. When he puts that 2 club bid in, you know, if you're playing with 2 over 1, that you are going to game somewhere. And now you can go slowly. They can go slowly in their bidding to find where they want to play the contract. So he bids 2 clubs. So you are west and you're correct. You know, he's got opening hand and he's probably got 4 to 5 clubs. Okay, South now rebids 2 hearts. Now what do you think South has got?
Well, I would think he's 5-4 in spades and hearts.
And that's correct. I'm hunting where I've put my notes. I'm so efficient here, I've just lost it. Okay, so at this point, North now bids 2 spades. What's he saying?
I think he's saying, well, he prefers spades over hearts.
That's
and,
correct.
I think I'm not sure I can guarantee at this point that he's got.
Trump suit, yeah. Now he could only have 2. I mean,
That's what I was going to say. He could have 2.
he could just have 2. But now when South rebids 3 spades, he's more or less saying he has 6 spades and 4 hearts.
Yeah, with that 3 spade bid, South is 6-4 in spades and hearts. And so
Right.
North feels more comfortable going to 4
And he goes
spades.
to 4 spades. So 4 spades is where they pay it. So you're the opening leader. What you know is South has opening spade. He has at least 5 spades. He's rebid 2 hearts, so he's probably got 4 hearts. He has 4 hearts. He may have 5 hearts. You know the two club bid has put you in game force situation. Nisha and I are looking at this. It is now snowing outside in Blacksburg. Okay, and then finally North says, okay, I like spades, so he says spades. He might only have two. We don't know. Three spades says I have six spades, four spades. There's no other cue bidding. They're not going to slam. They're not interested in slam. That's something you need to be thinking about. If after the three spade bid, now North starts bidding, four diamonds, he might be showing the ace, king of diamonds, or if he bids four spade clubs, he might be showing I have the ace, king of clubs, and I'm interested in slam. But they didn't do anything like that. So they basically got their 26 to 27 points you need, and their 5-3 or 6-2 fit for their spade suit game. And you're looking at your hand. You have three spades, you have the ace jack, and you have the queen nine. You have two broken suits in the heart suit, and you do have the doubleton club. So
I'm gonna make a
Kurt, let's see.
passive lead here. My partner's got 6 or 7 points probably. I'm gonna lead
Good.
my spade probably as a passive lead.
Absolutely. And look, do you now see the description there? The 5 of spades is your best lead. Your
Right,
hearts are strong, and they're sitting behind Declare's second suit. Declare bid 2 hearts.
right.
That you've got the ace jack 9 behind him. He's probably got the king. He may have the king queen 10, but you're going to get 2 of those heart tricks if you don't lead it. If you lead it, you're not going to get 2 of those heart tricks. The
Exactly.
last thing in this hand you want to lead would be the heart, because you're sitting behind Declare. The diamond doesn't look good. Your partner does have something, but it may give away a trick or 2. Clubs, no. So Kurt, you're absolutely right. You want to lead the spade. You want to, because what is the value of the dummy? What do you think the value, besides having that he's got his 12, 13 points, but how do you think that the declarer is going to use the dummy? He's
Well,
going
he's
to be
gonna try to extend his trump suit with a
he
rough.
is going to be
dummy.
trumping, losing hearts in the dummy.
Yep.
One of the big assets of that dummy is he's going to be short. He's got length in the club suit. He's got probably 3 spades. He's got shortness in the heart suit. The declarer is going to want to try to trump losing hearts. He knows he's got losing hearts. He's going to try to trump as many as he can in that dummy. So you are absolutely right. Now, which one of the ones do you lead? It's best to lead small. That 10 may prove to be a very big card. So anytime you're leading trumps, and you've got several, it's probably best to lead your small one in the event that your partner's got a singleton honor. And that does happen more often than you think. So if you've led a big one and your partner's king falls down on the first get-go, that's wiped out a whole lot of your firepower on the first trick. So if you're leading trumps, typically lead a low one. And this would be under the category of an attacking lead. You are attacking dummies trumps because you know by the fact that you have 4 hearts that the declarer is going to want to be trying to trump his losing hearts. All right.
Carol,
Yes.
Carol, this Preston, can we go back on that? One thing that might make me believe that South does not have, that North does not have 4 spades, that he only has 3, is he would have probably done Jacoby 2 no trump
Absolutely.
instead of 2 clubs.
He might have bid, if he had 4 trumps or maybe 3 and 11 points, he might have bid the 2 no trump Jacoby. So that's a factor too. So the non-bidding, what is not bid is also very important. You're also paying attention to the bidding that's actually put out there, but what was not bid can be equally as important. Okay, I want to move on.
Hey, Carol, can I speak
Yes.
up? I got this one wrong. Okay.
You
So
let
I
a
wanted-
club.
Maybe
No, I didn't. I let a small diamond. And I'll tell you why.
Okay,
I was thinking, okay, declare may have 5 spades. Okay. There's no, I don't think he's proved, he could be 5-4, he could be 6-4, but I thought maybe declare, let's say they have 5 spades, 4 hearts, a singleton diamond, and maybe, or Well, no, that reasoning's not right, but I thought that if you lead a club with dummy bidding 2 clubs, they may have like ace, king or something, and the south hand could get a quick pitch depending on their,
Absolutely. Yeah, so the club
so
lead.
that worried me. The club lead is not right, like, because one thing to lead a Doubleton, you want to have control of the trump suit, which you
Absolutely.
really don't have.
And you don't have it.
The other thing is, I didn't like leading a trump here because a lot of times if your partner has queen X and you'll find the queen for him. And then you're not gonna, maybe you'll lose your possible natural trump trick if they guess wrong or something.
Correct.
So
And
I
these
don't
are,
like,
and see that you're always weighing one thing against another.
yeah,
And this is good, Doug. I'm glad you're here because you
Yeah.
pointed that out.
I let a small dime, and I thought that looked like, this does look like an attacking lead hand, because I think club losers may go away, or he might be able to pitch losers underneath the dummy's clubs. So it looked to me like, and you can't lead, obviously you can't lead hearts. You just gotta be patient with your hearts. I thought the small dime looked best to me, so I got this one wrong.
Well, I don't say there's a wrong. And, I think in the future, I'm
Anyway.
going to have underneath this the entire hand so that you can see all
Yeah.
4 hands. So
Mhm.
next time I will know to do that. Okay, let's move along. And you're getting the passive hand now. And this is one that's written up in the books. Why I keep doing that, Nisha?
Yeah, I don't know how you
Okay.
keep doing that.
All right. Okay, well, this is all we need to see for now. So 1 no trump has been opened. I'll just quickly go through it, and then 1 no trump, 15 to 17. 2 clubs, he's asking for a 4-card major. 2 diamonds, he denies having a 4-card major, and then for some reason he goes all the way to 6 no trump. So what do you know? You know that 15 to 17. You know that even if the guy has just 15 points, how many points do you think North has to go all the way to 6? If the minimum his partner could have is 15, he's got to have enough to get it to 33, doesn't he?
18, yeah.
He's got to have 18. So if he had 18 points, his partner doesn't have 4-card major, he would be at 6 no trump. If he has let's say he's got 17 or 16 or 17, then he would be getting 4 no trump, quantitative, saying if you have 17, go to 6. He went all the way to 6. So you can just about believe that North's got 18 or 19 points. Even if his partner had only 15, he wants to be in 6 no trump. So you're looking at your awful hand. If a safe lead, a passive lead, were ever called for, it is in this hand. You don't want to give him anything. So you absolutely rule out the club lead or the diamond lead. Your partner can't have anything. You've got 3 points. Partner have 2 points or none. You know he doesn't. So you don't want to help the declarer in any way. So it comes down to leading the Doubleton spade or the Tripleton heart. The books say if it's between a Tripleton and a Doubleton, in a situation like this, it's probably better to lead the heart, to lead the Tripleton. I do have this hand, so let's move on down and look at this hand. So I go down. Let's look at the lead hand. If you lead a club, if you lead your 4th best club, you see it gives him 4 club tricks. If you don't lead that club, he doesn't know exactly how to play that club suit, does. I mean, if you don't lead, diamonds. If you lead a diamond for away from your jack, you pick up the jack and you get 4 diamond tricks. I don't know why I'm doing that. Please excuse me. If you lead the the club 4 away from the queen, now you have picked up that finesse for him. You have located, you've given him a trick, in other words. If you lead the spade, you see that's right through your partner's queen, as Doug was talking about. So the best lead to make from this type of hand would be the Tripleton heart. It does not give him anything. He's got 3 tricks. Do you all see he's got 3 heart tricks? That's all he's ever getting in hearts is 3 heart tricks. So your heart doesn't give him anything. It's a passive lead. Remember, it's a safe lead. It does not give him anything that he's not going to get. So you lead the heart. He's got to now work on these different suits. If he finesses wrong on the spade, then your partner gets her queen. if he finesses wrong, or guesses wrong on either the club or the diamond, you guys are going to set this hand. So the whole point in the passive lead is usually they come in on the 6 no trump contract. You don't want to give them in a no trump contract. You don't want to give them that 9th trick. In 6 no, you don't want to give them their 12th trick. So does everybody see how that passive lead works? Okay, I'm just about finished here today. Concluding remarks, of course, is again, look at your convention card prior to each game you're going to play. Secondly, pay attention to the bidding. You can already know pretty much you're going to be on opening lead as the bidding ensues. So you can be thinking ahead. If you know it looks pretty obvious that you're going to be making the opening lead. Also be mentally trying to figure out how many points your partner has. And then think this afternoon, if you do play this afternoon, think, do I want a passive lead? Do I want to make the attacking lead? Do I want to make a forcing lead? And then start trying to make yourself, maybe have a piece of paper there when the declarer plays a trick in a suit. Just make a stick mark. Say, okay, there goes 1 club. Now he's played 2 clubs. He's played 3 hearts. He's played 2 spades. Trying to start making yourself think in that vein. Next week, I'm going to continue with opening leads. I'm going to focus on when to lead a trump and also, very importantly, when not to lead a trump. There are times you should lead it. There are times when you absolutely should not lead it. So we're going to focus on that next week and look at examples. Again, I'm going to be focusing on counting the hand, on counting what you think your partner has. And next week, the examples I'm going to have after you have the opening, you have the lead, you have the bidding, and you have your hand. After we get through the discussion, I think it will be helpful to have the entire hand so you can see it and see all 4 hands and see that. So does anyone have anything they wish to say before I stop recording and I end the session? Again, Doug, thank you for being here. Thank all of you for being here.
Thank you, Carol.
Thanks, Carol.
Thanks.
I want feedback. I don't want just, oh, you're doing great. No, I do not have a thin skin. If I'm talking too quickly, if I'm not enunciating my words, or if my examples are not clear, please let me know this because I can improve on my lesson. I can't improve if I don't know for certain that you're having problems. So any problem areas that you have, if you want to send it to me privately, that would be fine. Again, I thank you. Sunday morning, this coming Sunday, I believe that'll be the 17th, I will be sending you an invitation. Kurt, I messed yours up again. I misspelled your name. So I'm hoping I'll
That's
get
never happened. It's the first time it's ever happened.
my entire life. It's like me having an E on my name. Nobody ever gets my name correct. The Social Security occasionally gets it right. Okay, so I'm going to close the meeting out. Lou, I'm going to ask you to stay on because I want to talk about this recording just a little bit. So I'm going to say goodbye to each of you. Good luck on all your games this week. And hopefully you'll be telling me, hey, I did what I learned in the lesson.
Very
Thank
good.
you, Carol.
So
Thank
anyway,
you.
Thanks, Carol.
I'm going to end the meeting. So I hit stop share. There we all are. I'm going to end in meeting.